Hello, YouTube. I'm Colleen, and I'm back for another live stream brought to you by the wonderful people over at Princess Dental Staffing. So today's topic is tips for defining roles and responsibilities among your team. Okay, so let's first talk about why it's important to define roles and responsibilities in your team. Well, it's important because just to make sure that none of the really important responsibilities slip through the cracks, right? Because if you haven't defined those roles and responsibilities, then you may end up with some team members thinking that somebody else is taking care of that particular thing, that particular responsibility, right? And then things can slip through the cracks. On the opposite end, you may actually end up having some team members, several different team members working on the same task, on the same responsibility, when it really only needs one person to take care of that particular thing. Okay, so then it doesn't really help you with your time management. You're not really allocating your time and your energy resources effectively because you have several different people working on one thing that can be taken care of by one person. Okay, so that's why it's important to define those roles and responsibilities, just to make sure that your office processes and procedures are running smoothly and running effectively. Okay, so that's why it's important. So let's talk a little bit about how we define those roles and responsibilities. So one thing that you can do is create an org chart, an organizational chart, a lot of times called an org chart. And essentially, an org chart is a visual representation of your office hierarchy, okay, how everything is organized. It helps show everyone, illustrate very clearly to everyone who has which role. Okay, really helps if you have like a larger office or agency, or if you have like several different locations, can really help, like I said, visually illustrate who is in which role, okay, and who takes care of what responsibility. Okay, so an org chart. Another thing you can do is create PDs, which are position descriptions, also sometimes called job descriptions. I've mostly heard them referred to as PDs. So that's how I'm going to refer to them. But basically, a PD is exactly what it sounds like. It's a document that defines the role and responsibilities and job duties and tasks of each individual employee. And having those PDs really helps keep those roles and responsibilities organized. Okay, really kind of helps make sure that all the boxes are checked and that everything is getting taken care of. Okay. The other great thing about PDs is it's a great way to communicate those roles and responsibilities to your employees, right? Because it's not just enough to define those roles and responsibilities. You also have to communicate those roles and responsibilities to your employees, because if they don't know what those roles and responsibilities are, then confusion can ensue. And you may run into those other items that I mentioned earlier, things falling through the cracks, or, a bunch of people not, or taking care of, the same thing. Okay. So that's why you might want a PD. Now, if you've never written a PD before, there is a really great blank template that you can use it's available on the SHRM website, SHRM, SHRM, the Society for Human Resources Management. They have a blank position description, job description template. And I really like it because it really has, fields that kind of help you think about all the different things that you can include in a PD. And it also helps you not miss, like I said, not miss some of those major responsibilities that really need to get taken care of in order for your office to function well. Okay. So just a few other tips for you. So make sure, after you finish defining those roles and responsibilities, make sure your employees have everything they need in order to complete their responsibilities and their job tasks, right? So again, it's not enough to just define those roles and responsibilities. You have to be able to communicate them to your employees, and you have to make sure that your employees have everything they need in order to get done what they need to get done. So that might be in the form of training, that might be in the form of supplies, what have you, okay? So make sure that they have everything they need in order to get all those things done. The other piece of advice that I have for you, the other tip I have for you, is to make sure that you have backups for all of your most essential roles and responsibilities. Okay, so if something happens and your employee can't work anymore, or they can't show up that day, it's a really good idea to have somebody who is trained to do those essential responsibilities that help keep your business and your office moving forward, right? And working together. So always have a backup is my piece of advice. So those are my tips and tricks for you regarding defining roles and responsibilities within your office. So if you have any other thoughts or you have any other tips that you think are useful, feel free to comment on this video. As a matter of fact, I encourage you to do so we can share our knowledge with everyone. So thanks for tuning in today, everyone. I will see you tomorrow. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. Bye.